Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. Tonight, I am joined by the National Operations Controller of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Mike Osatuyi, for discussion on moves by the federal government to achieve stable fuel prices in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Nigerians.
So let's start with the impact of petrol subsidy removal on the polity. How will you describe it?
Yeah, in fact, the removal of subsidy definitely has brought about increase in price of petrol. But at the same time, you cannot eat your cake and have it. It has also brought about increase in revenue to the government. And as you have seen last 2 months, close to a trillion has been being shared every month now by the three tier of government, both the federal, state, and local government. I think 957 billion was shared in June and 96 billion or so in July, so which brought a very huge leap in what comes to the cover of the three tier of government. So we have some increase in price of petrol, which has brought some hardship to the Nigerians, but at the same time, the money they have given to the state, which before it was about 650, 600, the highest was about 750 billion before, but now going to about a trillion now. So this money now should be used by the state government for the benefit of the masses and the populace. And I think you can see the Kaduna State governor and some other state government, Ogun State, they have already rolled out some palliative program in terms of subsidized transport costs, acquiring buses that use CNG. So those are I think in overall, if you look at it, it's the best thing to remove subsidy because we have been financing neighboring countries for years. And you can see that there was a protest in Cameroon when we removed subsidy. Why? So it means they are benefiting us. They have benefited from the subsidy for years. So, but principally, there must be transparency. The government must be accountable to the masses, and the money must be used judiciously, so that masses can benefit what they have suffered for.
All right. So, I mean, after removal of subsidy, we saw that the NNPCL said market forces will determine the prices of petrol. But how much of this can we say has happened?
Yeah, that's the truth. That the cost of crude and the cost of naira to naira will determine the cost of the fuel, landing costs plus margin. But at the same time, if you had the president when he was giving a broadcast to Nigerians last month, he has said that if there is necessary for government to intervene, they will intervene in terms of the soaring cost of dollar to naira. And I think government also has intervened through the CBN. I think you can see that dollar crashed by about 120 naira in the last 1 week, and it will still crash more when CBN roll out their programs.
All right. So, I mean, we've also witnessed one hike in the price by NNPCL after the initial removal of subsidy. My question is this supposed to be so in a deregulated environment?
Now, there's something they call replacement costs. You know, if you have stock, yes, and we are going to go also to the market to go and restock. You're going to restock at the new cost. If you're not careful, you will not have the liquidity to restock. So it is pure business. Business formula that's inspired that. So, but I think things has come to normal now.
So the hike was necessary.
Yeah, guys, it's necessary because if you don't hike, you can't have enough fund to replenish, and it's going to bring more hardship. Because when it's scarce, then the cost will be high also. But I think we have gone beyond that.
So how do you think the federal government can achieve stable fuel prices?
With what we are witnessing in CNG now, I think this government is very serious about CNG. They want to divert masses from using petrol or less of petrol to CNG. And CNG is very, very cheap. It's 200 per kg. If you go to NIPCO there in Nebafo, it's 200 per kg. And it's 230 in Ibadan. They launched Ibadan. I mean, that's 2 weeks. So, and even if you go to up north, maybe about 250, 260, which is about one third. I mean, you are saving about 2/3 of the cost, and CNG even cover more distance, right, than petrol. So, and that's number one. Number two, then the intervention of government that say, okay, they will intervene when necessary, so that the dollar to naira, which is the basis of which the element of importing and costing will be intervened. And I think government has, I think it's now 71 naira in I and E window now, which is better than the 100 that it has been last 1 month. So the meeting the Zambian governor had with the president really worked, because within 24 hours it crashed. That's even before rolling out what are the other programs that CBN have got. So it has to be managed.
So apart from these two you have mentioned, are there other ways you think the federal government can achieve stable fuel prices?
First of all, they have to make dollar available to the importers, genuine importers, by selling directly to the genuine importers, to IPMAN member that want to import, to DAPMAN and to MOMAN, and then to NNPC. So this dollar is going directly to the importers, and they should roll out this. I mean, in fact, we have framework already. We have the template that Ministry of Trim have, that you must comply before you can import. So if it's been at the heart of strategy, I think there will be discipline. And anybody who mess up in the Honorable Exchange system should be sanctioned, even the banks too.
Okay, so is this the same thing as unbundling CBN and NNPCL to achieve price stability? I'm asking this question because other stakeholders have said the federal government, one of the other ways to do this is that the federal government should unbundle CBN, NNPCL to achieve price stability, because according to them, adjusting prices without institutional reform that will ensure transparency and competition will not yield the desired result.
I don't know what they mean by unbundling of CBN. They want CBN to be 10 CBN in Nigeria or what? But it's a symbiotic situation. The NNPC and CBN must work together, because they are the core government agencies in this operation. So, and if they work together with these other stakeholders, monthly meetings, review of operation and guidelines, and blockage of loopholes, and again, principally, let our custom people do their work, because you can see that even our price of our petrol is still cheaper than neighboring countries. But if the custom do their work and other agencies, then the petrol will reside within the country, so that it will be for the benefit of Nigeria. Even when government now intervene, right, it will be for the benefit of Nigerians, not for the neighboring country again, like before. So
how much of transparency must come from both organizations?
Why can't we achieve 100% transparency? We can achieve it if we are patriotic. There's no matter of 80% or 90%. We can achieve 100% transparency, even custom. Because if they want to do their job, they can achieve 100% transparency and coming about this smuggling. So there's no matter of 80 or 90%. It's 100%.
Absolutely. So let's talk about influence of fuel marketers. Many have accused them of trying to exploit consumers. How will you react to this?
Well, there's no any system without bad egg, right? If you call them cartel or other names, but if the agencies have said do their job, cartel will be dismantled. And the first cartel was when NNPC was the sole monopoly of importation and distribution, which has been on board now, if you want me to use that language. That's now, if my member, DAPMAN, MOMAN can import, along with NNPC also. So that cartel, you see, look at that, has been unbundled when the president announced that subsidy is gone and there's regulation. So if the government is not monopolized, again, I'm talking of foreign exchange to be made available to all the genuine importers, so we are good to go. And in fact, everybody, there will be competition of price, of service, quality of products, and Nigeria will enjoy.
Well, Mr. Osatuyi, it's very interesting that we're talking about achieving transparency, and at the same time we're saying, there is no agency that does not have bad eggs. I'm asking, where does this put the government?
If government agencies do their job, bad egg will be removed. And why should Nigerians smuggle fuel? But why can't also customs do their job? If you have bad egg, then there's government instrument to checkmate them. So if customs allow fuel smuggler to go away with the product, then who are you to blame? It's government. It means there's bad egg also in the government system. So, but I think everybody has to enough of all this nonsense.
So a lot of times we've seen marketers, threatening to hike price even before NNPCL and government denies such. Should this be happening?
What happened, I think about 2 weeks ago, that the price will be 7.20 or something. They are working with the market fundamentals when crude price was high to $80 and now also $1 was going for naira and something. If you apply those two formulas into the plat and landing cost plus pump price, it will go that area. But once government has intervened, right, that CBN do your job, and you can see that 120 naira was off the price within 24 hours. So that is also the benefit of the regulations. No single player can decide to increase price when others don't increase. I think they are buying from the same market, right? So if the windows are very tight in terms of not allowing any scrupulous behaviors, then nobody can. If your neighbor is selling 720 and your own is 680, nobody will go to that 720. And if your service again is better, right, than that 720, if you shut down within a couple of weeks, and he's paying bank interest, his incurring costs on operation, salaries, janitors. So it's a competitive market, which customers, consumers, we have the best of time now.
So I would like you to help us simplify this issue as much as you can. One key aspect of this issue is of fuel prices exchange rate. What's the nexus between these two?
We have two rates. As of today, we cannot rely on black market rate, which is going for 880, 890, 900. And we have official rates, which is high investor and export window, which is about 780, 781. So those two rates. But the 781 are for people that want to bring in export proceed, right? And also CBN Forex 2, which I don't think that one is there. So the banks now will marry both the importer of the exchange and the one that want to use it. They marry them together, right? And they do their transactions, right? But it will never be up to black market rate because it's going through CBN into the country.
So I hear you, but are there ways to ensure that the exchange rate volatility does not affect fuel prices?
That's why government said they will intervene when necessary. That's when you heard very clearly. It's just like when the president said subsidy is gone. But when the president also said they will intervene, that is part of the meeting that CBN governor had with the president, and which brought out some results. And if it's necessary also, they will bring out more sanctions for people that want to play smart in the banking industry, in bullish in operation, and even here in E-Wind also, because but I believe that CBN will advise the president.
So when you say government intervention, what do you mean? And what are those interventions?
Intervention, like when the CBN governor went to the president and they had a meeting together. I'm sure they must have discovered some loopholes. And the CBN governor came out clearly that people who are speculators will burn their finger, which they did within 24 hours. So, and I'm sure that part of what they want to roll out is not yet in place. Maybe they are still trying to fine-tune it. So, government is government, and government knows what to do to arrest any ugly situation at any point in time.
So what other kind of interventions would you advise the government?
Well, the government should ensure that all the government agencies are doing their work, especially the immigration, the civil defense, the custom, the police, and that they secure our borders. So that the fuel that we bring in, the fuel we bring in doesn't go out. Right? That it is being used by the... But because the government is intervening, it's just trying to arrest or grow this situation, right? By talking to the stakeholders, good marketers, and the importers, and the authority, and NNPC and other government agencies that is saddled with the oil sector in this country. And with what government is doing about this CNG, right, which is I think, in the year 2020, there was what we call Federal Government Gas Expansion Program, which was launched, but there was no seriousness on the part of the government. If we have got that seriousness in the government in the last 3 years, compare with what we have seen now in the last 60, 70 days, we're not going to be where we are. I think you are aware that NNPC, through their group CEO, has said that they are partnering with NIPCO, right, to roll out 35 CNG locations in the country, another 56 CNG spots through their retail outlets, another 21. And all these things is happening, going to happen within before the next 2 years. I know they are partnering with private sector, NIPCO now. So it's not a matter of bureaucracy, politics. And you can know that, you can see that we don't have vehicles that can use CNG enough in the country because the conversion cost is very high. That's my one. Number two, there's no enough location per state to fill up the vehicles. Number three, the vehicles are not yet converted, right? But with what JMD said, if is quoted correctly, that they are going to provide credit facility to the vehicle owners for the conversion, which is a major bottleneck to get to where we are. And that's a good point. And the 3 points: the credit facility to the motorist, the location of all the conversion center, and all the stations for refilling. And you said that about 200,000 vehicles can be refilled in a day. So that's an introduction. I'm sure the next 1 year after, 24 months' time, or 2 years, we're going to, in 5 years' time, we are there. And we don't have any problem of supply. We have gas in abundance in the country, right? And we're number 1 in Africa, and number 9 in the world. So we have it. But the gas we have about almost 207 trillion cubic feet, which worth about 807 trillion dollars. 807 trillion dollars. If you go to the valuation. So, we don't have any problem about, say, we are going to bring CNG from abroad or something. And it's cheaper, cleaner. So
in that aspect, we're good to go.
We are good to go. Seeing what they are doing now, they are serious now. And there's a presidential directive. There's a presidential directive on compressed natural gas initiative, which, and the president too has appointed the Minister of State for Gas. So what do the Minister of State for Gas say he's doing if he fails to achieve the mandate? That's why they separated Petroleum Minister of State from the gas. So he has been saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that this presidential initiative is achieved within the time frame that they have been given.
All right. Let's also talk about the $3 billion crude loan recently secured by NNPCL to stabilize the exchange rate. How helpful will this be? Yeah,
in fact, that one way, it's just you are doing a kind of a forward contract. Forward contract is that, okay, I will sell crude to you, give me so amount. And that is our crude. I'm not embedding it. It's going to stabilize the naira. And also that what we have learned, if it's true, that our reserve is almost empty, right? If you net off the what we are owing with what we have there, which I think must have been secured by the foreign reserve. So the CBN has taken the right option, using what you have to get what you have. That's part of the intervention they were talking of. The federal government, I know, if NNPC must have got the president approval to secure that kind of transaction. So that's part of the intervention we're talking about. And there may be many more also that to come.
So what is the difference between this and other oil swap deals?
They are two different, because the oil swap deal, I give you crude. You bring the fine products, right? The formula for working, what you bring is a different issue. Because there are so many byproducts when I give you crude, right? So, but this one, there's the price of crude. We straightforward jacket or the transaction. But crude swap, it look can be 100% neat. But this one, you pay. In fact, that can be for contract. If I say, okay, pay $70 per barrel, right, and work it out, okay, the next 1 year I give you so volumes. If we have signed the contract and it goes to $80, right, you gain. Or if it also comes to 50, the federal government gains. So there's risk in everything we do. But this is more neater than swap. Okay,
so there is nothing risky about this deal, either for NNPC or Nigerian Treasury?
Nothing is risky there. But, if you go into finance properly, we have contracts. We have spot contracts. We have forward contracts, right? So if you are doing spot, you are buying right away from there. But if you are doing forward, what they even do in importing fuel, that price, right? You pay. You put into this price, but it can increase tomorrow. So what they have done is fantastic. It's an innovation to rescue us from the mess.
So I want us to also talk about local consumption of petrol in the country, which is now put at about 50 million liters. What does this tell us? Or, in other words, what does this mean for us as a country?
Before there was a time they were saying that we are consuming $80 million, 80 million, 90, 70 something, but which majorly, most of them have been smuggled out of the country. Our fuel goes as far as Sudan, Ivory Coast. In fact, all the neighboring countries, they have access to our fuel. In fact, in Nigeria, we have to shut down the refinery and Cameroon, because they have to shut down the refinery for 5 years because it depends solely on Nigerian fuel. Right? So, but now that they've regulated and removed subsidy, it has brought down the consumption rate. They say to 50, they say to 40, but I still believe there's still some small element of smuggling, because our fuel is still cheaper. That is truth compared with, but it has reduced. That's the kind of, but if the customer agencies also put their thinking cap and work properly, right, we are still going to achieve decrease in the consumption rate.
All right.